Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the morning market review. For those who have been asking for audios, I'm sure you can all hear me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope it's a beautiful morning over there. How are we all doing? And welcome to today's edition. I hope everybody can hear me now. Okay. Thank you for your responses. And we are going to start immediately. So you're welcome to the morning market analysis class. I'm sure for those who have been following us through, we are all aware that this is a training that happens every Monday through to Friday by 8 a.m. Okay, and we needed to sort out some stuff over here before starting, hence the delay, but of course, we are going to jump right into it. It's been a lot of activities in the financial markets. And okay, for those who are probably new, this is your first time attending, we actually have this class every Monday through to Friday by 8 a.m. And, just use the link to join, and where we analyze the market, understand what has happened and what will be happening, and how that would affect the trades for the day. Now I'm going to also say this, that we also have other classes available. We'll have the evening classes for 6 p.m. We'll have the live trading section for 2 p.m. And of course, we'll have the VTC, that's the morning online training classes for 10 a.m. So do well to reach out to your various account managers and request for those links to the classes. It's been quite a full activity period, not just in the Eurozone or not just in the dollar zone. We've also seen, countries like Canada, countries like the Eurozone, countries like UK, countries like, of course, the US, have lots of activities that has, governed or has helped in shaping the way the market has been reacting. Okay. But then we are going to also understand what those events have been and how they have affected the market. Okay. And how we can also take advantage of it. So I'm going to quickly be sharing my screen now, and I'll be sharing it so that we can all look through together and then know what or how the financial market, has been tilting towards. The first thing I'm going to share is our Forex Factory, as I love to always understand what happens or what has been happening. Did we have any high impact news, and how did that high impact news affect the activities? Did we have any, just randomly things that we can take advantage of, to give us a clear understanding of what the market is all about. Okay, so quickly, like I said, I'll be sharing my screen to our Forex Factory. I'm sure we all know what Forex Factory is here. So everybody here should understand what Forex Factory, that is actually the place where you go get high, understanding of what informations are being brought out or is coming out in the different sectors or in the different economy, and the reason why they are coming out. Okay, so Monday happens to be 18th. Looking at the Forex Factory, you can see that we didn't have any high impact news coming out on Monday. And then on Tuesday we had a couple of them. We had from the AUD, which came out in the early hours of the morning. We also saw the Canadian region, they had their CPI, median, trimmed, and of course, common came out medium impact, but of course we had CPI, median, and trimmed CPI come out as a high impact news. So when you see it having a red calendar, that is this place where my cursor is, you know that it is a high impact news. Once you see it on a brown envelope, you know that it's a medium impact news. And when you see it on a yellow envelope, you know that it is a weak news. So on that note, we saw that happen yesterday, and today being Wednesday, we have a couple of high impact news, and of course we have FOMC in the US zone, which is of course happening by 7:30 p.m. between 7 and 7:30 p.m. And for those who really don't understand what FOMC, Federal Open Market committee, this is the committee set aside, to have market projections, the committee that, work on having interest rates increase or interest rates reduce. So when you hear, oh, the US increased their interest rates, these are the people, in charge of it. And I think it comes out once every month or twice every month, where they give us, okay, yes, the meeting, FOMC meeting, and the minutes of the meeting. Okay, so we have all of these. And of course, it's a high impact news. And what do we expect when we have high impact news like that, especially from the US? We expect volatility. So before I continue, please, for those who have started trading on their real accounts, for those who are still practicing on their demo accounts, this is even the time for you to test, your ability. Or you've been practicing, with the trade hints given to you. Now try to see, for those on still practicing on their demo accounts, try to see if you can be able to trade on high impact news. They are trading on fundamentals and they are trading on technical analysis. So try and be available around that time and see how it moves. Okay. And for those probably who have started trading their real accounts, I suppose this is not new to you. It's something you are used to. Okay. So right away, I'm going to be sharing my screen again. The next screen I'll be sharing is the screen of my investing.com. Now, what I do is I try to understand or analyze the dollar, because we see the dollar as a currency that is used to measure every, 6 more currencies. We use the dollar to measure the euro. We use the dollar to measure the Canadian dollar. We use the dollar to measure the Australian dollar, over 6 baskets of instruments. So it is imperative that we understand what the US or the dollar is saying, because that will give us an idea of what to understand, going forward. So I'm going to quickly go to my investing.com and I'll be looking at, trying to understand what has been happening using the dollar index. Okay. For those who don't know dollar index is just an instrument that shows you the strength or the weakness of the dollar per time. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. So the next screen you will be seeing is that of my investing.com. So I'm sure we can all see my screen now. I'm sure we can all see my screen now. And I'm just going to quickly reload this page and take it up from there. Okay, so quick one. This is not just a class where I have to do all the talking. It's a class where, would also communicate. So please do well to listen, because I can just mention your name. And once I mention your name, you just know that I'm asking you a question. So you do well to drop your answers below. Now, this is the dollar index. It is written as USDIDX. USDIDX. Like I had also earlier mentioned, it gives you a pure analysis of what the dollar zone or the US economy or the strength of the dollar per time. And if you go to investing.com, I just quickly went to markets. I went to currencies. I'm sure we cannot see what I'm doing. And sorry, I went to currencies and I went to my dollar index. So from your own end, it is something that you can do, whether you're using your phone or you're using your laptop. Is the same thing, right? It's the same outlook. And then you click on it. And once I clicked on it, it brought me here, right? So once it brought me here, you can see news and analysis. So you click on news and it will bring out the news that has, come out based on this particular instrument. And we can see that we'll have the one coming out that came out 3 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 6 hours ago. So I'm going to first open the one for 1 hour. And what does it read? Dollar holds fast, yen in shaky territory ahead of FOMC. For those who have been also following, you can see that I just mentioned FOMC in the course of the introduction to this particular class. And for a news coming out 1 hour ago, they are already hinting us, about FOMC and how, what we can, get from it. So let's read further. Dollar holds fast without even trying to scroll to understand it. Let's say as a layman, somebody just meets you and say, Mr. Ojo Samuel, what can you explain to be, when you hear the word or when you hear the sentence, dollar holds fast? What can you connote from it? Simply put, it means dollar is holding. What is the word fast? When they say something is fast, what does it mean? It means something is running very, very quickly. It's not slowing down. There's no slow pace in it. It's going on, a high speed. When you say something is holding, or when you hear the word hold, what does it mean? You're holding on to something. You're not letting go. For those who watch Big Brother Nigeria, their head of house challenge, you saw now how they were holding on to something. You get it? So holding that, I can use that as a typical example. They were holding on to that because they wanted to win the head of house challenge. Somebody was supposed to come out as a winner. So they held on to that thing for as long as they could. So imagine dollar was one of, the people in the Big Brother house, and dollar has been holding on fastly. Simply. Now, when you see the word yen is the currency, the Asian, what we use in generalizing the Asian currencies. Now, when you hear yen in shaky territory, what does that mean? That this particular instrument is shaking, it's afraid, it's not doing so well. When you say, somebody is shaky, shaky daddy, what? At least, when we were growing up, we all had that. I don't know if it's a song or was it Daddy Shoki that sang that or something? Or was it a malaria advert or so, where the father was sick and, he was shaking, and then I think it was a malaria advert. So when you hear yen is shaking, yen in shaky territory, what does it mean? Yen in his own side, though, is not even doing so well. Now, they now said ahead of FOMC. We all know, we have established the fact that FOMC is coming out this evening. So when people say, I don't know how to analyze the financial markets, it's as easy. See, just break it down one after the other. Once you are able to divide it, you'll be able to understand it in whole. So with the way I have explained this now, can somebody just give me in simple terms, what's this? We've not gone to read further. With the way I've explained this, dollar holds fast, yen in shaky territory ahead of FOMC. Can somebody just give me a simple explanation of what it means? In just a few seconds, I'll be reading the comments. With everything I've explained, go to your chat. Can somebody just explain? Thank you very much, Rita. Do we have any other person dropping? Dollar is strong. Good. Thank you very much. Good. So I want all of us to just follow through like that. I just want all of us to follow through like that. Now, let's now read, since you're saying dollar is strong, what exactly is the reason? Okay, now we've established the fact that dollar is strong, yen is weak, and the reason why this, the investing.com is bringing this out just 1 hour ago is ahead of FOMC coming now. So what exactly, is this? Why? Now we are going to read through. The dollar remained firm against a basket of pairs. I already said that we use the dollar to, analyze other instruments on Wednesday, ahead of a much anticipated rate decision. For those who joined me when we started initially, I had said it that the FOMC is the committee that deals with, interest rates. the reducing, the increasing, or the keeping at par of interest rates. So we can now see that, the reason why this thing is happening between the dollar and the yen is because, the dollar has remained firm, against, of course, the basket of pairs on Wednesday, which is today, because this news came out an hour ago, ahead of a much anticipated rate. So people are looking at, people are anticipating, just like you now. Your account manager must have told you, Mr. Ajingi, Mr. Oladimeji, hope you are getting ready, FOMC is today, FOMC, probably maybe when they called you yesterday, they were telling you FOMC is tomorrow. Probably they've spoken to you today, they are telling you FOMC is today, you guys should get ready, you guys, I don't want anybody to, not be aware. That is how the people in Kafanchan, the people in Singapore, the people in Australia, the people in America who are all trading this financial market like you and I are also gearing, also getting ready. Investors are also getting ready. Banks who trade are also, yes, so Shepi, I'm sure by now it's not news that banks, high banks, hedge funders, they all trade these markets. So you're like, we are like even the list of people in this market. You understand? So everybody is looking forward towards this news, anticipating what the result will be. Now, ahead of a much anticipated rate decision by the Federal Reserve later in the day. That is for the US. While we see that the yen has continued, meaning it did not just start now. While we see that the yen has continued to hang. When you maybe you're on a tree and the branch cuts and you are just hanging on one small branch and you're waiting for while you're holding on, you're still shouting, help, who will help me? I remember those days we had mango tree. And when it's mango season, my father dare not catch you on that mango. The mango that he will lick, this mango that we have been waiting for one whole year, because now the flower, when it comes out with flowers and then they start falling, the ones that will now germinate. God bless you that one day this man nearly caught me. If you see the height I jumped from, if you call me Spider-Man that day, that is me. I just did my hand, phew. Next thing I saw myself on the ground. Hey, the Spider-Man in me came alive. So that is what we are seeing here. Yen just holding on, hanging on to something. Okay, now let's move forward. Attention stayed fixed on the yen as US and Japanese authority heaped on fresh comments about the possibility of intervention. So everybody is still looking at, okay, we already know that when you talk about yen, China, US, these are China, North Korea, so these are countries that you can relate with. China happens to be the second most industrious country in the whole world. China is the second most, the most consumables when it comes to oil. So when you talk about countries now that are strong, that can even stand against the dollar, you will call China first. So it is not news when we see that both the US dollar and the US and the Japanese authority are trying to see how their currency, each currency can stand strong on its own. So having understood that, we have come to the point whereby, I'm sure I don't want to go through the issue of stimulus, COVID stimulus, inflation, recession, interest rate. I'm sure we already understand that it is a build-up of this. But now let us look at what is on ground. Now we have understood it. What's next? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to share my chart. I'm going to take us to the chart so that we can see the screen. The first instrument I'm going to look at is the US index. And I'm going to quickly go to the daily time frame. Please, what can we see on the daily time frame? Can you see that the last time we had a free fall in the US zone was in January, February, March, April, May, June, July? Was in July. Precisely the 13th of July when we had a free fall. After that, what has happened? Market has been on a high. Market, it has broken this particular verified support. In fact, this was a verified resistance. It broke it, and the verified resistance changed into a support. I'm sure we are following. It got to this turncoat. This used to be a turncoat resistance. Market broke above it, and automatically this turncoat resistance changed into a turncoat support, and it is heading to this untested resistance. So this is on the daily time frame, and you know that when you're looking at the daily time frame, it's to show you what's happened all through the day. It captures everything happening all through the day. So we're going to go now to the 1 hour time frame. Once we're talking about the 1 hour time frame, we're also understanding what has been happening hourly. Now, for the fact that if I go to the daily time frame, it's showing me a buy, doesn't mean that I am not going to see snippets of sell during the day. It's like saying husband and wives. For the fact that I quarrel with my husband, doesn't mean that if they tell me, oh, auntie, will you choose this man again, that I'm not going to choose him. For the fact that, my husband gave me money, he said, you will pay me this money back. And the day he came to ask me for this money, I said, oh, you don't want to take your, but that was not the agreement. Why are you crying? For the fact that I acted like that and used wayo to collect his money and did not pay back, does that mean when next they say, oh yeah, okay, come and marry again, that he will not choose me? Of course, we saw it play out in the relationships our parents had. So when we say something is on an uptrend, or something has been buying, or when you go to your daily time frame, you see that something has been buying, it doesn't mean that you're not going to see snippets of sell in between. The same thing happens too when the reverse is the case. But we know that on the long term, we are actually seeing, a buy. So on that note, please look out for, let's look out for strength. And, it's still going to be like this. Yes, we have the strength, but there's something now that will now even give us a much better stronghold. It's like saying, growing up now, maybe somebody is beating you. People who probably lived in a communal environment, or this other person's child, this woman's child, maybe your father or somebody, Mr. Who knows, that's his name, got married to 2 wives. And then the second wife's children are around. Maybe the second wife has 4 children, the first wife has 4. But in that particular scenario, maybe in the farm or in the stream, the second wife's children, 4 of them are complete. But we have the child, only one child from the first wife around. You know that the second wife children can easily bully this one. And this one will be kind of say, don't worry now. Don't worry. On a normal day, I know on a normal day, you know, if you try me. But because of say, I never regroup. And watch when this other person, his siblings now join. I should be now they try me. Oh yeah, can't talk now. You don't want to talk again. Talk now, make I show you Pepe. We all, I shall experience it, because my father will always say, yeah, during your holiday, go to the village, you must know your culture. So I had all of those experiences, right? So that is actually what has been happening. So we already see a strength in the dollar, but there's something that can still boost more strength even to the dollar, which is what? FOMC coming out this evening by 7 p.m. Now that we've, understood this, it's going to give us a free flow in analyzing every other instrument. Now I'm going to ask a question, basically for people who are old. Some of us here, we are grandpapa in this, we are great grandparents in this trading thing. So when you see Euro USD and they tell you, oh, the dollar is strong, what do you do? Please drop your answers in the chat. if you see Euro USD and everything, this girl, your man just did oh yeah, what should we do? Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much. That's fine. That's fine. I think I have people who are following me. Kudos to, I will buy people one boo boo. Okay, I'll buy people one boo boo. Good, keep it up. So I'm going to go take my chart to the next instrument, which will be Euro USD. When we see dollar strong, it means that, the euro is going to sell. Now, for those who are still finding it, difficult to understand, see, if dollar is strong, any instrument that the dollar is at the back, just sell it. Euro USD, sell it. GBP USD, sell it. Any instrument that the dollar is at the back, sell when the dollar is strong. But any instrument that has the dollar first, like USD JPY, USD USD CAD, USD CHF, you're going to buy it. And then vice versa. Okay. So having understood that, we can see now that even the euro in itself, has been struggling. Quickly, let's go to the to the daily time frame. Can you guys see? So it has actually been on, a downtrend. Now, I had an analysis section, and I was saying that irrespective of the fact that we know that the euro USD will most times do the opposite of what the dollar does, the euro in itself is also not even okay. Ask me why. I'm sure probably people who have been analyzing have talked about the uranium with France and the rest of it. I'm sure we've also seen the crisis energy, that's the oil or the gas crisis energy in Japan. And the last time their ECB came out, that is, they had a speech. That is what's the name of this woman now? Lagarde. Lagarde had a speech. She had that speech that they were going to increase interest rates, but then she made it look like they were not going to increase interest rates. Meaning the speech was a dovish, it had a dovish momentum. And because of that, it did not even carry volatility. It's like when you say, oh, well, that is what Lagarde, Christine Lagarde is to the Eurozone. But they had seen, and in my analysis, I said, it could be that it's a wise decision for them. Because I remember when the US kept increasing interest rates, it crumbled so many of their banks. In fact, we saw banks, on a steady collapsing due to that. And probably the Eurozone has also seen that, that is something that can happen. And because of that, decided to play a trick. That is my own, analysis, how I, looked at the whole thing. It's like saying, when you're traveling, you think that there's water there, but when you get there, there's no water. You keep seeing, it's as if there's a gallop or a pool of water in front. But when you get there, it's a dry land. Some sort of like a mirage. So she had that speech, which people anticipate. In fact, it was a high impact news. Was it last week or last upper week? But so it was euro in the in your Price Factory had it as a high impact news. But the woman with, she really gave us that hula baloo. She gave us that hula baloo situation. So the speech came out dovish. So people thought that they were not going to increase interest rate. No. It's not, it's not going to move. But alas, they ended up, increasing interest rates. So it didn't really give that volatility, that a speech like that, increasing interest rate like that is supposed to give. Even yesterday, when we had the interest rate CPI come out in Canada, we saw how that move happened yesterday. So in the Eurozone, nothing has really, helped them. Probably it's working for them, who knows? But we see that, they seem to be comfortable and they seem, well, to me, I would say it's a good idea so that the repeat of what happened in the US is not going to happen in the Eurozone. You don't increase interest rate and then later you start suffering it. You start collapsing. Industries start collapsing as a result of the aftermath of decisions made. Okay, so at that we saw, a continuous sell-off. So for me, for today, going to our entry positions, quickly, I'm going to give us a sell. We can see market also has been ranging around, it has not been able to break through this verified support, and it's not far-fetched. Everybody's waiting for FOMC. It has tested it here, it got here, it got here. This is the third time. So I'm not going to give a buy stop, right? I'm going to give a buy limit. So can you all hear me? Okay. So I'm not going to enter maybe a buy stop or a sell stop. No, I'm going to go in for a buy limit on this particular one. So if it sells to this point, to this verified support, and starts moving back up, we can all end. I'm sure we all know how to place a buy limit, sell limit. So if you can't, please reach out to your account manager, or you join the class this evening. So I'm going to enter a buy limit. Once price gets to this verified support, first it must get to this verified support, and in the course of bouncing back up. So I'll enter at 1.0681, and of course my take profits, it's going to be a short one because of what we have ahead of us. Okay, let me bring this down a bit. At 1.06785, and of course take profit before this verified support, because this moving average here is also serving as a resistance at 1.06848. Sorry, 1.06840. Okay, and do I need to give a buy? I would rather stay out of the market for a buy. Really, sincerely, I would rather stay out of the market for a buy. I'm not going to tell you what I'm not going to do. So this is what I'm going to do. If you want to follow through to give yourself a buy, that's fine. But looking at everything we've analyzed today and FOMC coming out today, I would rather not be caught off guard. So that is why I'm not even giving a buy stop or sell stop. I'm going in for a buy limit for today, okay, on Euro USD. The next instrument, of course, we are going to analyze today is the Japanese yen, right? And of course, I had dealt with the yen and the dollar, and how we see both instruments struggling to keep their currencies afloat, which of course resonates to the economy of their country. So quickly going to our daily time frame, you can see it's been we can all see it's been on a high spree, although we see it being held back here on this weak resistance. I think it has tested it once, it tested it twice, and within this region. Now this is what I'm going to do. Currently we can see that this current candle, okay, let me move down to my 1 hour time frame so that we can analyze it properly from the 1 hour time frame. Very good. So from the 1 hour time frame, we can see that it's headed to this proven resistance. Now on this point for me, you can scalp. For those who are very good at scalping, you can scalp till you get to this proven resistance. But please, nobody should wait and say, oh, I want to wait for you to break this proven resistance. It can hover around this region till 7 o'clock. Trust me on that one. We can see it hover around this region. And maybe if there is going to be a breakout, probably because of the news that will be coming out by 7. But for now, if you can scalp around this region, that's fine. Or please, a sell limit it is. A sell limit it is. So we see it buying, yes, but if he buys and it starts retracing, we join in the retracement move. So I'm going to get in for a sell limit if price trades coming down to 148.049, 148.049, and of course my take profit at 147.939. Remember, this moving average here is also serving as your support, so I would not want to be caught. You can see market hovered here before it went up. This is a proven resistance. So I don't believe it's going to break through this. Maybe up until 7 o'clock when we have FOMC coming. But for today, I'm going to go in for a sell limit at 148.049, and of course my take profits at 147.939. Now you can see how analysis has been going because we've dealt with the husbandman. Good. Now the next one we are going to be going to is gold. Anybody who doesn't know this by now, I suppose flog you. Buy Koboko, not even K. Buy Koboko and flog you. Because it is no news. Even baby that they gave birth to today knows that gold would definitely and always do the opposite of what the dollar is doing, except on, certain rare occasions where you have them do, the same thing you get, but on rare occasions. But most of the time, we see the reverse, happen. And as usual, I'm going to go to our daily time frame. Now we can see this particular this is one of those rare situations. It is neither giving us a clear sell or it is neither giving us a clear buy. Now, still on the analysis I was doing, I think that was on Friday, I had that analysis. This is one of those rare occasions, like I said. And the question is why? Because when we looked at our dollar index, we had a sweet, pull up of the dollar index, meaning gold should, have a lovely pull down of what they are currently doing. But we see the reverse being the case. Now, this is it. Investors already know that even though the dollar is strong, there is a tendency, we already know that there's inflation. It's not just America, everywhere. But when we still talk about inflation, America is like the giant, they always like to come to people's face. So people are always so on their faces. So we know that they've been suffering inflation, and the best way to reduce, cut down on inflation, not just even the best way. Powell, which is the Fed chair, has come out to say that they are going to reduce inflation to 2%. It's like saying CBN governor comes out to say, we are going to reduce inflation from wherever it is to 2%. It requires a lot of work. And one of those things is, the reducing of interest rates. The reduction of interest rates. And we saw that happen the last time that CPI came out, where they reduced interest rates with just 1% lower. So I think it was 5.48 and they reduced it to 5.47, but it wasn't so much. So investors already know that these people can be crazy at times. So they have kept money in lieu. For people who are bankers, you can just Google it. What does it mean to, keep something in lieu? It means I'm just keeping it. I'm not going to touch it, but I'm just keeping it, for like shock absorber. Hey, shock absorber, that is, the layman word for that. So investors have kept money in lieu in gold, meaning, yes, so I have investments or I'm still trading the dollar, but I also have a good percentage saved up in gold. So that, and if dollar decides to go, maybe I'm looking for a buy in dollar and dollar decides to sell, well, that is on you. I still have something I'm going to fall back on. If dollar Kwano decides to say, okay, I'm going to buy, and probably the investor or the traders are on buy, it's a good thing. Now, those are for I'm talking about hedge funders, high value traders. For you and I, we all know that we just follow what the market is doing, nothing concern you. If market they say just follow and say, if market they buy, just follow and buy. But I'm just trying to understand why we see, a seemingly ranging market in gold instead of having a downright sell position or sell trend in gold. So because of that, we saw this, or we are seeing this happen. But FOMC today would definitely give us a clear-cut direction. I think it has even started, reacting. Investors have also started reacting to it because we can see this particular sell happening. I think this happened since it started here, since yesterday. We've seen, something looking like as though it wasn't able to break this verified resistance. It broke through this support, so we are seeing, more of, a downward trend. But to be on the safe side also, I'm going to give you, for this one, it's actually a sell stop. So if market closes below the low of this current candle, why not? We're going to go in for a sell at 1927.26, 1927.26, and our take profits at 1925.44, 1925.44. Sorry, I'm not going to enter for a buy. I don't have anything buying in gold. If you want to buy in gold, that's fine. But personally for me, I'm not going to enter anything on buy. If he decides to buy, of course, between now and 7 o'clock is a long time. So you must have even gone out of all these trades we are giving this morning and get yourself ready, for FOMC, okay? So on that note, we are going to quickly go to oil, and then we'll look at two indices, and then we'll call it a day. Still on the analysis I had on Friday, oil has been on, that's the way they say small girl, big God. Oil has just been, basking on that. On Friday, we saw a complete, full move. It has been on an upward trend, trending and trending. Be like a Ilebaye where they trend for Big Brother Naija. They trend, they go up, they go up, they go up. And then yesterday, what happened? We saw that break. Who can actually tell me? Can I have someone, tell me what actually happened between yesterday and today on oil? Because we can, from the daily time frame, we can see it has been on an uptrend. So can somebody who can help me out? Who can help me out? Who can help me out? Did somebody check? Okay, if we don't have anybody who has checked, let's also check it together. So I'm going to also be sharing my screen back to our investing.com, and then we look at oil. So I go to markets as usual, I go to commodities, and I go to Brent oil. And the next thing I'm going to do is to click on my news and analysis. I click on news. Good. So we have the one coming out 4 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 1 hour ago. So let's open this one that came out 1 hour ago. Stocks stored as oil surge set stage for longer US rate peak. So let's read through. Stocks struggled for headway on Wednesday, which is today, while US yields stood at or near decade high, closed along the curve as surging oil prices stalked inflation and set the scene for the Federal Reserve to project interest rates staying higher for longer. Now, please follow me. We all know that the oil is valued in the dollar or with the dollar. So if you want to buy, even in Nigeria here, we'll tell you, oh, $1 is equal to how many barrels? This $1, this $1. So we already have that. Now, we saw that continuous strength, which, of course, the dollar has gained strength. And if I'm buying or I'm selling oil products or oil produce with the dollar, I'm also gaining, because at that point in time, dollar in itself has strength. But what happened? What happened? Now, I'm going to read it again. On Wednesday from here, follow me, while US yields stood at on near decade highs along the curve as surging oil prices stoked inflation. How come this oil, how come then is now an oil surge, or there's now a surge in oil price? Follow me. Higher energy costs led to a higher than expected spike in Canadian inflation. Yesterday, I informed us that CPI came out in the Canadian points. And of course, we saw how the volatility happened yesterday. But why is oil rising? It is no news. How many of us watched Game of Thrones? Winter is what? Follow me, guys. How many of us watched Game of Thrones? If you did Game of Thrones, winter is what? Wait, is it only I have? Thank you. Winter is coming. Winter is on Abia. In fact, Abia go. It is here. So, and Canada already, when it's cold though. Hey, some of us, we are ready to jump back. Some of us, our flight is today. Some of us, our brother just left yesterday night. Some of us, I know now, Mr. Daniel, should be now you now. Don't go market, go shop for a raincoat. This I not see you. I saw you. Don't do that. I saw you. It's you, Joe. It's not you again. It's you. It's you. And you're laughing. You see it now. Hey. So winter is coming. And you know what? They will need it. Let's not forget that there was an issue with France and Niger regarding uranium. This is what they use, in transporting oil. And, the coup and all of that, it has been an issue that they've already been struggling with. Now, they've not come out totally from that issue. Winter has come to meet them. Because, in winter, if maybe, for example, you're using 20 liters of heat, right? I'm not there, so let me just assume you're using 20 liters of heat. In winter, the cold is extreme, so your liter will increase. I don't know if you understand me. So because they know that it is coming, for some places they've already started experiencing it. What happened? The oil price shot up. In Lagos here, there was a blackout. What did they say happened to the blackout? Creed, because of the rain that has been falling, non-stop back to back here in Lagos. It was, it was in the news, but I think it's been restored now. So you can see that everybody is gearing towards that point. And at that point, it's going to shut up, the need. And, of course, the price increase surging up is based on demand. Not just that, we also saw that the China economy has also been opening. Remember when we were doing our analysis earlier when we started, we said that both the US economy and the Chinese economy or the yen economy, they are all both struggling to see that their economy come back to life. And still on Friday when I was doing the analysis, they said the whole reason is we see China, their economy is now opening. In fact, as at August, China had a very bad GDP. But between August and September, they had increased, their GDP rates. So you can see that the country is coming back to life. And I mentioned it here, that China happens to be the second country who spends or who uses crude the most. I also mentioned it here that China happens to be the second most industrious country in the world. Come on. So imagine this sector is asking for oil. Before, maybe the economy was not open, the economy was not doing well, but all of a sudden, things are pumping, business is booming. They will begin to need, crude, those that will need fuel, those that will need gas, those that will need, whatever in the family of, crude. But we shall know that there will be a major need in it. Tell me why it's not going to shoot up. Get knowledge, this morning, I see somebody, I think it was Arise TV was saying, knowledge is a currency. You get why you get this knowledge. Me, where they talk about, my mouth not the sharp based on say, my mama born me inside this thing. It's something that if you follow it easily, you can actually understand it. So that was what we have seen, why this thing, has happened like that. And of course, we are going to see, it, fall. And for me today, I'm going to see a ranging market between the turncoat resistance and the verified support. So for this, I'm going to give us, a good one for this one. I'm going to enter a sell stop rather. Oh, sorry. Let me share back to my chat. I was on investing.com. Okay, I'm sure we can now see my screen. I'm going to put a sell stop at 93.26, 93.26, and of course my take profit just before the verified support. 93.26 for a sell stop, 93.26, and my take profit at 92.94. Take profit 92.94. Entry at 93.26, take profit at 92.94. Do I need to give us a buy? If we want to give us a buy, it's going to be a risky one, because I say that because, market is already here close to this stone cold support. So we can enter on a sell limit. But since I've given us a sell stop, I think that will be fine for today. I don't want anybody to get trapped. Please, because you can see this is your stone cold resistance. And it got to this point, this first sell candle, it did as though you wanted to retrace. And you can see this particular one is not even, moving through. So let's not be greedy. Let's not do what is going to hurt us. But our sell stop, why not? That is fine to go. And the last but not the least, we're going to be looking at US 100. I think I've said everything I need to say about dollar and how that correlates with other instruments. So quickly, I'm going to go to our daily time frame. We can see, we had a little bit of a pull up and something that looks or seems to be as though is a ranging market. And truth of the matter is, I can keep going and going on, but it's still the same thing. People are looking forward to FOMC. What does FOMC hold? Because it is the interest, the confirmation of, oh, we are still going to increase or we are not going to increase and all of that. But on our 1 hour time frame, I think I can still give us, both for a buy and a sell entry for this morning. Just, quick things we can use to hold body, make no sha, catch us finish, just hold small body before FOMC comes in. So on that note, for US 100, I'm going to go in for a buy stop. I'm going to go in, just give me a second. Let me arrange. Yes, I'm going to go in for a buy stop at 15392, 15392.56, 15392.56, and of course my take profit at 15414.13, 15414.13. So you can go ahead and set that. And on an alternative scenario, we see that there is a moving average here. But I'm still going to have it below our moving average, because we see from the 1 hour time frame, it actually went below this moving average before it shot up. So I'm going to enter at price 15348, a sell stop at 15348.49, with our take profit at 15323, 15323.18. The next one I'm going to do between US 30, US 2000. Okay, let's do US. Okay, let's do, what should we do? US 30, US 100, US 30, US 100. Sorry, US 30, US 2000. The first person to answer is what I'm going to do. US 30 or US 2000? US 30 or US 2000? Ogachi Debiri, are you here? Good. US 30. Okay, US 30 it is. So, US 100, US 30, US 2000, US 500 are in one WhatsApp group. All of you that used to have group, they are in one WhatsApp group. And what, happens to one, in a way, happens to all. But it's no news. Everything we are looking out for. Let me quickly go to our daily time and see what US 30 has for us. Good. So we can see still a ranging within this period, and it's not far-fetched. Onyo Bola Neche FOMC. It be like the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Somebody said this coming, he never still come. He go come. Are we still talking about coming of Jesus Christ? Okay. Well, everybody's still holding on to FOMC. We can see there's a struggle between this weak resistance and this moving average that is serving as our support on the daily time frame. So quickly, I'm going to move to our 1 hour time frame and just, give us an entry, and then we just enjoy the market for today while we sit back and wait for FOMC for 7 p.m. Please do well to attend the live trading section by 2, and let us see that you do well to also invite people who need to get the knowledge about the market. So because you have, a little tight space between where the current market price is and our turn coach resistance. We can still see a push-up, but hovering around this turn coach resistance. So for a buy, I'm going to go in for a buy stop at 34841. 34841, 34841, and of course I'll take profit at 34872, 34872, 34872. For a sell stop, I'm going to go for 34785, 34785, and you'll take profit at 34732, 34732. In conclusion, there's an adage in Igbo that says, "Aneji akipa amuta kari." Let me translate as pronounced. They use left hand, they learn right hand. But what it actually means is, you can't say you want to be a governor, or you can't say you want to do great in life, and you sit down every morning and you don't go out to work for it. It doesn't work like that. The universe does not work like that. Even God does not work like that. The Allah does not work like that. Our chi does not work like that. It is what you do that will replicate. Knowledge is power. Please, if there's anything you need to get knowledge. If you give 30 minutes of your time to this market, hey, you see this why they laugh. You will not know when you say, na me be this. So I feel stay like this, enjoy this market. I don't know. Oh, I've been here. Oh, I will today I'll make profit. Tomorrow I'll not make profit. Today I'll do this one. Just sit at it. If you're here with the wrong intention, that means you're even wrong in the first place. Because when I tell people is I'm living okay. I'm not going to come and tell you that I'm $10 or I'm Dangote. But I can tell you that I am okay. But the truth of the matter is, there were times when it wasn't like this. So there were times it wasn't like this. But I kept at it. So please, in knowledge, you need it for this business. Keep getting the knowledge. Keep pushing. Time will come when it will happen. In fact, when that time comes, you will not even know. You go now. People go to remind you, say, now you'll be this. Oh boy, see the way you fresh. They will say, Mr. Joel, now you'll be this. Oh, Mr. Joel, you fresh. What's the happen? I go say, nothing. I'm just, in my, I'm just there. I'm just doing my thing. Oh, so please, it's just a little word of encouragement. Keep at it. It pays. Oh, keep at it. Keep at it. I love you guys. It's actually a message talk to you directly. Oh yeah, I'm talking to you directly. My love. Oh yeah, keep doing it. Keep pushing. We are all going to get there. It's not over until we win. I love you guys. See you guys tomorrow. See you in the afternoon section. See you in the evening classes. Do well to take advantage of the 7 p.m. class. And it's a sign out from me, your favorite analyst. See you all on a period. Make we laugh small. Work and no play. All right, guys. See you. Bye. Oh my God. Hey.